Hey guys, this is my extra credit video for the Mass Media Comm class. The first question was, when thinking about interpersonal, small group, and public speaking, which is more important? To me, interpersonal skills and speaking are more important because I feel like the way one interacts with a small group and performs public speaking is based all on that. I feel this way because you need interpersonal skills to really communicate with others. For example, you need these skills when communicating with a small group because how your coworkers or people in your group see you can have a major impact on getting your message across to them. The same goes for when you're working with a small group, maybe like in an office at your job or something. Some people may be the smartest person with great ideas, but if you don't get along with the people around you, I feel like you wouldn't get very far. To me, it is all about how you get along, because when you get along with each other, you work well together. So when it comes to interpersonal skills being more important because they help a smaller group, it is essential to have them, because if you can't communicate with them, you will either be totally lost, not be able to share your ideas, or you won't get through what needs to be done, or get along with the rest of your group. Now, when it comes to interpersonal skills being more important than public speaking, I feel like it is also that kind of like the framework that makes public speaking possible. As I said before, it's all about how we communicate with others, but with these skills, one would be able to come across as more confident and charismatic, even, kind of, like when public speaking. A good example would be President Obama, who in my opinion has great interpersonal skills. Every time I hear him make a speech, he always knows exactly what he's talking about, or seems like that to me, and it just seems appealing and convincing to others when he does so. That just proves that even for the President of the United States, interpersonal skills play a huge role in his success when it comes to not only small groups like his cabinet, but during his public speaking to the country. The next question was, to accomplish your goals as a communicator or to follow your ethical standards, like which one is more important? I said, so when it comes to accomplishing goals as a communicator or following ethical standards, I think that following ethical standards is more important. I think this because you can get your message across while avoiding any conflict that might come in the way if you didn't take the ethical standards into account. I think this because I'm remembering like what we learned in class during the Mass Media Law and Ethics PowerPoint. I understand that the First Amendment is basically like freedom of speech, but that it shouldn't be abused. For example, I can't say anything that I want like when communicating with people, because just as we learned, it can lead to like defamation that could damage another person's reputation. And if I don't basically filter what I say, like with the ethical standards, I could even be invading privacy by like giving out confidential information, and like I either wouldn't even notice or I would notice and just not care, which is not good. Either of these circumstances can not only lead to trouble of being like sued or just in trouble with the person in general, but it can also lead to embarrassment or emotional distress to whomever it is about. Okay, the next question was, if you had to bend the truth, omit an unpleasant idea, or a lie to accomplish your goals, would you do it, and why? That question got me a bit. I think that in a business setting, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to bend the truth, omit anything, or lie, because just like in life outside of business, like in like the real world out there, even though business is the real world, the truth always comes out. Then when the truth comes out, people lose trust in you, because then they like question like anything else, like what else did they leave out, or like what else have you lied about, even if it was like a little white lie. I mean, telling a white lie about throwing someone like a surprise party is a whole different story, but with a business, if you lie about something, it takes a lot to keep that lie going, and sometimes even for people to believe it. When is it acceptable to bend ethical standards, and why, or why not? I said in a business, I don't think it's ever acceptable to bend ethical standards, because I know that people in those places are like all about money, or in most places anyway, but some will go and bend those standards as far as it can go to make a profit. I'm not saying every aspect of it is bad, because they can benefit from it, but it just seems easier to me to follow those standards to be successful. It may take longer to be successful in your career, but I'd rather do the right thing and learn from mistakes rather than lie about something and have it come back impacting me later on.